Hi gamers, today we're going to review the vintage game Conspiracy. It has no dice, it has no cards, just pieces and a bank book. Is it any good? Let's check it out. Alright, so in the game of Conspiracy, all you have is this board, these beautiful looking busts, and of course a top secret briefcase. And your goal is to use any one of these agents and move them on top of the briefcase and move them to your headquarters, wherever that is. Now any of the players can move any of the agents shown here. And all they have is bank books. That's it. There's no dice, there's no cards, there's just a bank book. Each player starts with $10,000, and in that they delegate that $10,000 and put it in the box of each agent they want to pay. They don't have to pay all the agents at first, but they'll set up and they have a balance and they'll put the balance over here, 10,000. They'll slowly subtract from that number to make sure they don't go over 10,000. That's all the money you have in the game. Now in the game, each player has 3 moves they can do. They can either put more money in their bank book to pay a spy a little bit more, or they can move one of the spies or agents, if that's what you want to call them. And then finally, you can also blow an agent's cover, and that's when 2 or more agents are on the same one. You can blow one of the agent's covers. One agent can blow, let me see, Earl can blow Miss B's cover. Now, I call it assassinate, because once their cover's blown, they're removed from the game. So I think it's cooler if you call it just they assassinate the spy. That sounds a lot better than blowing their cover. What each player will do on their turn, they can move the same character too. So we have the White Rock. Hey, jabroni. And let's say one player moves him here, another player can move him over here. You can have more than one agent on the same square, and you know, maybe two governments. Like I'm Moscow, this guy is London. We say, hey, let's try to move him to Bangkok, and then that way we can fight over which, you know, one he's going to go to next. Now the whole time, of course, you're paying these spies, and that's important because at any time another player can challenge your move. Let's say I have the Rock and I move him to Zurich. Okay, well he's getting close to Moscow. Well, someone says, wait a minute, Matt, I don't think the Rock's going to do that. I think I have paid this agent more than you have, and if he's correct, then that agent does not move and my turn is over. However, if he's incorrect, I get to move my agent. And we compare bank books. Now, you don't have to show them the whole bank book because, of course, it would show how many you've paid the other spies. You maybe cover it up, or you can just, you know, use the honest factor and say, yeah, I've paid him $800. How much have you paid him? Oh, I've only paid him $700. Okay, I get to go. But what if he said, no, I paid him $1,000? Okay, he doesn't get to go. The person who, you know, has paid these agents the most will get authority on where they get to move. Now, in the rule book that I have, there is no penalty for the other player challenging that person and losing. There's no penalty. So why would why wouldn't you challenge someone every move? So what we've said is if you challenge them and you lose, you're going to lose your next turn. That way it makes a challenge a little bit more harder. Now, of course, on the turn, instead of moving someone, you can add money to any of these agents. So if you find out that so-and-so player, you know, the next player has a lot of money tied up in the Rock, like $1,000. Well, my next turn, instead of moving someone, I'm going to put $1,200 on the Rock. And that way, I'm going to decline his movement and he'll lose his turn, and then I can keep moving the Rock now. And you keep going until someone runs out of money. Eventually, people are going to run out of money. When it comes to blowing an agent's cover, let me give you this example. Let's say that Miss B wants to assassinate, you know, Earl. And we haven't had Earl in there in a while. And man, I like Earl. Let's say in my bank book, I have like, you know, $1,500 put up in Earl. Man, I don't want to lose that $1,500. If he dies or his cover's blown, I lose that $1,500. So I want to pay Miss B not to kill him, while the agent who moved him on him is like, no, I want her to kill him. And so then it becomes a bidding war in hundreds. And whoever wins, they subtract that amount from their account, and Earl is removed from the game. If it was, you know, the decision was to blow his cover, or what I say, assassinate him. And now if not, then nothing happens with Miss B, and whoever won the bidding war subtracts that amount. You know, the guy who wins will put it on Miss B. Let's say I put $1,200 on Miss B going forward, and I lose that money from my amount. The person who lost the bid, all their money goes back into their bank account, so they'll still have it. Of course, the game ends when a player finally moves into their headquarters, and that is conspiracy. All right, so final thoughts on conspiracy. What do I think about this game? This game is essentially a four-way tug of war, and all you have is this bank book and your honesty. If I could get one takeaway from this, it's that you have to be really honest. You have to play with an honest gaming group, because someone's going to assassinate Earl, and you say, well, how much money do you have in Rita? And I have 500. Oh, really? Because I have 6. And unless you find a way to cover it all, I don't know. Maybe there's a better way to do this. Maybe like with individual numbers, write them out so that way you can reveal just one character, because you really can't reveal your entire sheet, because then everyone knows who you've paid the most off. So that's the only takeaway I could have. Now, when I first learned about this game, when I first started looking into conspiracy, I was like, well, this looks interesting, right? I like the bus, the briefcase, the idea sounded cool. And then I realized there were no dice, there were no cards, and all you have are these bank books. And I was like, no, I'm not interested. But then I found it at an antique store for like super cheap. I think it was $7. I said, you know what? If I spend $7 and I don't like it, I just lost $7. That was all. So that's worth my time. So I went ahead and purchased the game, and I got it. Now, who am I going to play it with? This is the conundrum I have. Can I suggest this to you? I don't know who this game is for, because it's not for my gaming group, but I tested on my guinea pigs, which are also called my nephews, to see if they liked it. I didn't think they would, but I was like, I really want to play this game, but I know my gaming group's going to look at it and go, yeah, no. Looks cool, Matt, but no dice, no cards. Yeah, we're not going to play it. But when I brought it to my nephews, we actually had a lot of fun, and we really loved it. Now, you also have to be good at math. My little nephew won the game, but then when I added up all the money he'd spent, it was $11,000, not 10. So his math was off, which is why he had all this money and we were running out. Because at the end, eventually, someone's going to run out of money. Agents are going to be, what I say, assassinated back and forth, and we just loved doing that. And it's tough to decide when you want to move, because at first we did all moves, and then I realized, wait a minute, it's about the bank book too. And so I started putting in money in the bank book, and when people challenged me, I was like, no, I have enough, and then they had to spend their next turn instead of moving, putting down money on that agent. If they didn't, I could go away. Now you could put money on multiple agents at the same time when it comes time to put money down. Doesn't have to be just one agent. But anyway, I like the concept, I like the idea, but I'm still confused on who this game was made for, because it seems like a very grown-up adult game when you look at it. There's not much thrills and frills to it. It's just a basic, game of spy versus spy in a way. But at the same time, the rules are so simple that my nephews could all pick it up and have a great time playing it. Even the one who's like 7, I think he even got it and everything. So it's kind of weird. Again, can I suggest this game? I don't know. If you can find it for really cheap at a flea market or antique store, under $10, go ahead, spend the money and get it. I really do think Conspiracy is a really fun game. It's got a unique, it's not really a mechanism. It has a lack of mechanisms, right? It's just basically putting money in a bank book and, hoping for the best. I don't know. I like the game. Unfortunately, it's probably not going to get that much, table space because I know my gaming group probably will not want to play this. And my nephews see my other games I have, and they like those more. Now, hopefully, every once in a while, I'll be able to slide this game out and say, okay, guys, just once, let's play this. Because I do enjoy the game. Now, I heard they were looking at making a reprint as of the date of this video. That is being considered. So, would the reprint add anything? I kind of, if not just for the bidding, maybe change this up to where it can be more on, you can ensure honesty in it. Other than that, I don't think they should change anything else. I think they should keep the bust too, because I like that. I know this game had another version of it where they actually had spies, I think. But I went for the classic one, and I'm glad I did because conspiracy, fun game. All right, gamers, that's all the time I have for now. Until next time, you know what to do. Game on!